Helen.
And I'm Liz.
And we're sisters,
Scientists.
and lifelong X-Files fans.
And this is We Want to Believe.
Hello. Welcome, colleagues.
Welcome, everyone. How's it going on this sunny day that's warm in Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Feels a little bit miraculous.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I have so many things to talk about, I feel like.
Ooh.
So I have an update on something we talked about last week. I have I don't know if listener story is quite the right phrase for this, but some email we've received to report on, the one that might put us in an X-Files episode.
I thought we were going to listen to the actual licenner story today.
Oh, yeah, we can do that. We'll save
okay.
That would actually be a better use of our time because I have a meeting at noon. Yeah. Yeah, I'll share the actual listener story, and then we can delve into this crazy one next week.
Perfect.
And then I obviously have to talk about the episode, and then we have to talk about the villain matchup.
Yeah, and you also wrote me an email and said, bring up pennies.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So we have to talk about pennies.
All of a sudden, I couldn't think about... No, I could think about it. I couldn't think of the answer. Okay, if you have to flip heads on a penny 7 times in a row, I feel comfortable with knowing the likelihood of that happening in any given set of 7 tries. That's just 1/2 to the 7th.
Sure. Okay. I mean, I would set it up differently, but yeah.
But then how do I find out how long it would take you to get to a certain likelihood of getting it to happen? How many flips would it take until it's a 90% chance that it's going to happen or whatever?
Oh, so if your number of flips is potentially infinite and you want to know how many times how many times to flip it to get to 7 heads?
To get to 7 consecutive heads.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, 7 consecutive heads. Well, it would just be a really, really small likelihood. So, I mean, it would be so you would take the probability of it occurring, which would be 0.5, and you would multiply that by, you would want it to happen again and again and again and again. And so you would just multiply. It would be the same thing.
But that would tell us how likely it is in a given set of 7. I want to know how many times do I need to flip it in order to get up to a big number, in order to get to be 90% certain. Basically, here's what happened. I was watching Jetlag the game, and they had a challenge where you had to flip a coin and get 7 heads in a row. And the guy on the show gave up at about 700 flips. And I wanted to know, is it unusually bad luck that he was having or not? And if you'd like some time to think about that,
No. So the probability of flipping a penny or whatever, 7 times in a row and getting all heads is 0.0078. So think of it this way. Oh, did you do that same
last
math?
night? Yes.
Okay. So think of it this way. We call something statistically significant when it's below 0.05. This is quite a ways below 0.05. So the probability of that occurring is extremely low.
How low, though? Think maybe if I had an infinite number of Jetlag the Game competitors, how many would I need to get them to all flip it? Like the monkeys with Shakespeare?
No, I don't.
You know about the monkeys in Shakespeare?
No, that's
Wait,
what I'm
really?
saying. I don't.
You don't know that?
No.
An infinite number of monkeys with an infinite number of typewriters will eventually produce the works of Shakespeare.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I may have heard that. Sure. But you're going to need a lot of monkeys and typewriters. I mean,
that's what I want to know is how many Jetlag the Game competitors.
Yeah, this is just a matter of me doing calculations. It's not...
All right, so Helen is going to do some calculations, and I am going to share this listener story with everyone. So this is from the same listener that I believe I called John last time, who helped us out with that radiator question. And so just to touch base on that again, quick update. We were talking about how does that work where something metal can actually pick up radio signals and broadcast them. And this is, I think I was making it too hard. And I think at the most simplistic level, if those radio sigs come in and make that object, that radiator or whatever it is, vibrate, those are going to produce vibrations in the air that we are going to detect as sound waves. And there's a little bit more to it than that. It's basically, but like a speaker is just a device that is designed to be really, really good at picking up electromagnetic waves of a certain frequency and then broadcasting them, about, producing waves with that same frequency so that you can hear them. And so a speaker isn't like a magical device. It's just designed so that, obviously no one listening thought speakers were magic. I'm not, okay.
I mean,
the point is,
sure. I don't know how it works. It might as well be.
Right. And so that's what I kind of meant, that like, it's not like there's anything like really high tech, impossible to understand that makes a speaker different than some other metal object. It's just about the design being made to optimize picking up electromagnetic waves.
Right. So
that then it can vibrate and produce sound waves in the air that have that frequency that we can hear. All right. And so, it was John last week who told the story about the radiator in his mom's house used to do that, which could explain why our other listener heard a voice saying, "That's the Constitution of the United States," coming from her
it's still
floor
pretty
near her vent. Yeah.
Weird to think about, like, someone was saying that at that exact time. I don't know.
It means somebody was playing something that was saying that.
Okay, right.
Yeah. And so
I wonder if one day she's going to, like, hear whatever it was play. You know what I mean? Like, not like from that, but like she'll, like, a movie will
out
come
in
on.
the world or something. Yeah.
She'll be like,
well,
oh my
I
God.
tried Googling that phrase, and it's just impossible.
Oh.
There's too much with people
Yeah.
saying something like that. But yeah, it was a child saying it. So if anyone happens to know anything in which a child says, "And that's the Constitution of the United States," let us know.
That would solve the
I feel
other
like
part of the
maybe it was like
mystery.
a Schoolhouse Rock or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
All right. So, from that listener, though, not the one who explained about his
John.
mom's radiator, John says, "My mom lives in the Midlands in the UK on what used to be called the Fosse Road. It's a very straight road that dates back to when the country was under Roman rule. And my mom, who is also fairly skeptical, said she had plenty of weird things happen to her that made her think the house was haunted. Things of hers would go missing and turn up weeks later in plain sight. One time she said she was looking at a pair of earrings on top of the counter and they flew across the room as if someone had swatted them. And she said she always thought it was a mischievous ghost playing around with her, nothing malicious."
Whoa.
Which, is, I feel like, impressive, because I think I would attribute maliciousness to it immediately and be scared. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like that indicates good strength of character or something. All right, so where it gets interesting, John says, is that my brother's friend came over once, knowing nothing of this, and asked who the girl was that was staying with us. There were only us two boys and my mom, and no one else was visiting.
What?
My mom is convinced he saw the ghost of a Roman-era boy, hence the mischief, she thinks, and thought he was a girl due to his hair and robes. And nothing much has happened since, so maybe he just wanted someone to notice him.
Whoa. That is wild.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Thank you, John. This is exactly what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
Wow. I don't know what it says about one of our mom's good friends lived in England for a long time and maintained that things were, for lack of a more nuanced term, more haunted there. And I just feel like, yeah, I believe that. I don't know.
I think it makes sense mathematically, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
And I have an answer about the pennies, but finish this first.
Because
why do you think it makes sense mathematically?
Because it's a smaller, denser country that has had people living. Like, if you suppose, we're getting back to stats, but like 1 in so many people becomes a ghost, which I don't know that we can suppose that, but let's suppose it for a moment. If that is true, then if you just have more people living and dying in the same smaller area, you're going to just have more ghosts.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just math.
Speaking of just, and again, thank you, John. That is exactly what we're here for. That is wild.
Yes.
Please, everyone, send us more stories. Okay, so what you're asking for is essentially the 95% confidence interval.
Oh, yeah. That is what I want. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, because you just want to know what's the probability needed for this event to occur with, like, so what is the sample size?
Yeah.
What is the N? And so I did that imperfectly, but I feel relatively confidently. 383 people.
Okay. So we need 383 atoms. That's the name of the guy on Jetlag.
383.
383 of him to do it.
Yep, to be 95% certain that it would occur at least once.
Would occur at least once. How many tries? Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. Okay.
Yeah.
So in other words, when he did 700 flips,
Yeah.
that's not enough because you would think it's 383 times 7 would be the number of flips that one person would need.
Right.
Okay. That is fantastic. Thank you. Exactly what I was
you're
looking
welcome.
for.
Yeah, happy to help.
Yeah, so if it was one person, that's like 2,600 flips. It was a terrible challenge. We were like, they were out of their minds writing that challenge.
That seems basically impossible.
Yeah.
Which it is very statistically unlikely for it to occur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like people
Wow.
think it's easier than it is.
Maybe.
Because like I said, he did about 700 flips and he got to 6 heads 3 times.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, that would drive me insane.
Yeah, I think the part that made it especially funny on the show is that he's also the one who writes the challenges, or he's one of the two guys. So he was like, I can't complain. And also, he's the one who edits it, and he's like, this is going to be a nightmare to edit, and I'm going to have to be the one to edit it. So he's walking down the street in Slovenia, flipping a coin, having to ignore the scenery. It's a great show. It's all of my interests. Nonsense and travel and competitiveness.
Great. Episode?
Well, before we get to the episode, let's talk about our challenge, our villain matchup.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have. I don't think it's gonna take us too long, but we've said that before and changed our minds. But we have Margie and Terri from Syzygy going up against Eddie van Blundht.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Margie and Terri would take care of him pretty quickly.
Yes, same. Yeah.
I asked some people online as well on the X-Files Reddit, and I enjoyed some comments like they'd have Eddie dead before the teaser ended, and they'd say hate him, wouldn't want to date him, no matter what face he made. Create those. One person did say unless Eddie could hide out by changing his face until the planet's unaligned, but I think that for our purposes we should consider this Terri and Margie at the height of their powers.
Right, we've discussed that before. So I think, I think he loses pretty decisively.
Yeah. And we have 2 more matchups left before the final.
Ooh.
So our next one to discuss is Phyllis Paddock versus Toombs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. There's certain villains I just feel an affection for, and Toombs is for some reason one of them. So we'll talk about Phyllis Paddock versus Toombs in the final 4. And then in the other final 4, interestingly, it's 2 pairs of women. It's Margie and Terri versus the Eves.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, also, yeah. So it'll be good. But yeah, next week we'll briefly talk about Phyllis Paddock versus Toombs.
Yes, that will indeed be brief.
All right. Now episode.
Yes.
If that works for you, if you don't have anything.
I don't.
All right. So this was Tempus Fugit. I don't know if I'm saying it right because I don't speak Latin. It's Latin for time flies. So keep that in mind, I guess, as I talk about the episode. Do you remember this one, by the way?
No. I mean, probably.
It's half of a 2-parter.
Yeah, once you start talking, it'll be familiar, but I don't, not off the top of my head, no.
I know the conspiracy episodes really well, generally, but watching this one, I was like, not as familiar with this as like so many other conspiracy episodes. It was still kind of surprising to me, the stuff that was happening. So it starts with a seen on a flight, like a commercial airliner. And apparently I was reading, like, they built this really impressive 737 rig that was, like, very, very realistic. And it was quite expensive to use this.
That sounds familiar right away. It taking place on a plane.
Okay.
I actually think maybe I have seen this one more often than not.
Okay.
Because Max
more often
Fennig,
than not.
Well,
Yeah.
how many times? Yeah.
Yeah. More of over 50% of the time when you're watching TV, it's this specific episode.
Because Max is on the flight, right? That's where this is going. Okay, yeah. Yep, keep going.
Max is on the flight. He's looking very concerned. He has some weird marks on his face, like some weird, like something's happening to his skin. The guy sitting next to him is like talking about, oh, I used to be afraid to fly, but now I drink. Oh my God. I'm okay. and so he's just, seems oblivious to the fact that Max is not in the mood for conversation. And then the plane starts shaking.
Too many people on flights are. If someone is not responding to you, leave them alone, please.
Yeah.
We just want our plane nap. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and Max had the window seat as well, so he could, like us, scrunch up against it, go to sleep.
Love it.
I mean, unfortunately, Max, his flight is interrupted by a great big light in the sky and everything shaking and the door starting to get pulled off.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. So that's bad. Oh, we also see that there's a dude who Max is kind of looking at, who, like, it's just like kind of a generic looking guy in a suit, and Max is looking like suspiciously at him. And I thought Max was just being paranoid. I don't know why I thought that on the X-Files, but I thought, oh, that guy's fine. But then he went in the bathroom and started, like, taking apart a pen and some other things and putting together what looked like a plastic gun.
Oh, gosh.
But before he could do anything, the lights and the shaking and everything started.
Huh.
Yeah. And so door starts getting pulled off, and then opening theme. And it's Scully's birthday, and her and Mulder are at a restaurant, and he has the waiters sing to her, and he has a gift for her, and she's like, "You've never even remembered my birthday before," and he's like, "Well, I just got you a little something, like it reminded me of you," and she's like, "Is it an alien implant?" And he's like, "Yeah, I had got 2 of them. I had them made into earrings," which I love their banter. I love them both. It was delightful.
Can I? You know what? I've been thinking about Gillian Anderson recently, not just because of the podcast.
One does. Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, because I watched with Hugo and one of his friends the movie Room on the Broom, which is this like delightful little like 25-minute kids movie. And it's about this witch who like keeps taking more and more animals on her broom, and they're being chased by a dragon, and it's very charming. And Gillian Anderson voices the witch, which I had forgotten. Yeah. And then I was like, wait, is she British? She's not British. But does she...
She's not. Well, I believe that I was reading, like, she lived there a bit as a kid and, like, might have dual citizenship. I'm not sure. I'd have to check on that. But she did live there and then started spending a bunch of time there post X-Files and kind of merged back into being British-ish.
Okay.
Or something.
Okay. Yeah. Because she has a British accent in Room on the Broom, and I was like, wait, is there something about her being British? Is she? But like she's, yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah, she's
kind of a Madonna sort of thing.
Not as bad as a Madonna thing.
Okay,
because I think in this case she came by it honestly from having lived there as a child, and it's more just kind of naturally switching between 2 accents that she has for genuine reasons, as opposed to. Yeah, Madonna just doing it. Yeah.
Well, and I mean, I will say my brother-in-law lives in Ireland and is married to an Irish woman. And he, I mean, certainly hasn't, like, gotten an accent, but, like, the way...
If he developed a full Irish accent, it would be hilarious.
No, but, like, the way that he, like, says certain things... Like some of his phrasing now, like some of the, like, it just, like, leans more that way sometimes.
I mean... Sometimes I worry about myself accidentally seeming pretentious just from watching a lot of British TV, and like
that would be really bad.
Well, obviously not picking up an accent, but like my vocabulary and stuff. And like So my students will be like doing a worksheet in class, and I will be walking around and saying, you have any questions? Let me know, I'll help. And oftentimes a bunch of tables will get questions at once. And I'll be like, okay, I'm going to go to you, and then you, and then you. And then then someone else will raise their hand, and I'll say, oh, you're in the queue. I have you in the queue. And so I'm using queue to mean line, Q, U, E, U, E.
Right.
And I was talking to a student recently who was like, asked me about the queue, and just the way she said it, I was like, wait, uh-oh. And she's like, I needed
Did she
help
not know what
with
that meant?
The queue? No, definitely not. Oh. And what didn't occur to me is probably she's not the only one. And also, we are doing a unit where like the variable they use the most is the letter Q. And I was like, if somebody doesn't know this word, then they're just being told you're in the queue. What would that mean? It means charge. It's like stands for electric charge. So, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, from Peppa Pig, which I think I've mentioned on here before, I hate.
Yeah.
I think William said trolley instead of shopping cart for a little bit.
Oh my God, that's adorable.
Yeah. So like, you're just an impressionable person. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's funny in the context of physics because you're working with Q, but also I feel like that is a word people should know.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Although I'm like, when did I learn that word? I don't know.
Yeah. We were talking about tastes changing for food recently, and I said that I didn't like guacamole until I was like 14.
That one day. I was just thinking about that day. Yeah. When we both started liking avocado.
It was great.
What
Still
a day.
is. Yeah.
What a day. We were at a park in McHenry.
Yeah. And then my kids started like roasting me a little bit. They were like, you didn't like guacamole. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't.
At least we do now.
Yeah. Anyway, so
it's a big day.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Scully's birthday.
Scully's birthday. So what Mulder actually got her is an Apollo 11 keychain. And we see that there's this woman kind of looking at them weird. And so she finally comes over and goes, are you Mulder and Scully? I was told to contact you. I'm Max Fennick's sister, Sharon. And he was going to try to meet you. He was going to give you something. But I was told to contact you if he didn't make it. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, didn't make it? And she's like, well, his plane disappeared 2 hours ago.
Oh, weird.
And
okay.
Yeah, it's like it went down. And so I guess he didn't make it. And so then there's an organization called the NTSB, which I didn't know what that was. And I still forgot to. It's National Transportation Safety Board. I'm Googling it now. I wrote NTSB all over my notes and had no idea what it stood for. It's the people who'd investigate a plane crash, basically. So they're having a meeting talking about this plane crash, and Mulder kind of interrupts the meeting and is like, okay, what you don't know is there was a guy on that plane who's been abducted by aliens multiple times. And I mean, I can't help it. Like, I'm imagining if I work at the NTSB and a guy I don't know comes in and tells me, oh, you know this job that you do all the time? Have you considered people who are alien abductees?
Yeah.
I wouldn't take him seriously either. I wouldn't be rude to him. Like, this guy is kind of rude, but like, come on. I'd be like, oh boy, uh-oh, They listen to the audio from the flight, and you can hear them say something about being intercepted, and then they start yelling Mayday. Okay. And then that's it. And the plane, they're told, crashed at 7:52 p.m., and that is important. Okay. Mulder and Scully go out to the wreckage site. Yes.
Oh, so, okay, it did indeed crash, because you had said disappeared.
Yes, it disappeared. So I maybe misspoke then, but it gets weirder. I didn't misspeak as much as one might think.
But there is wreckage.
Yes, there is wreckage, and there's bodies, although they can't find Max's body, and so they're looking around. They find there's some other guys. Obviously, Mulder and Scully aren't the only people there. There's other people like examining these bodies and stuff, and they find the body of the dude in the suit who put together the plastic gun, and this man with a mustache, we'll call him Mustache Man, he takes the plastic gun real quickly and slips in his pocket. And he's some sort of official guy, I believe, working for the NTSB. They make it look like he is. And so Mulder and Scully notice that multiple people's wristwatches have stopped at 8:01 p.m., even though supposedly the time of the crash was 9 minutes before that.
Now, this is the question I've always had with these things. Would a watch actually stop because you crashed? Like, how... why would...
If it was smashed.
Okay. Were these smashed?
Yeah, ish. Yeah, they were a bit smashed. Yeah. We could test it. We could get some cheap wristwatches that are... Because these were like... Not... Oh, your eyes were lighting up with delight. I thought that was like, oh, you're crazy. No, that was like, Leia, let's do it. And we could see like how much force does it take to get a wristwatch to stop.
Yeah. That's a great experiment. I would love to do that.
Yeah, we should do it. We should like, you know, I feel like obviously we could just get together and do this, but I'm also imagining a thing where it's like a big family get together and we're like, surprise everyone, we're going to be smashing these wristwatches today. Actually, who wouldn't be on board for that in our family though? Like,
yes,
everyone
absolutely.
would be up for that.
Everyone would be. Yes.
Yeah.
See, and I'm over here like in my office right now trying to get tenure going, is that publishable?
I mean, honestly, why wouldn't it be if we did it rigorously enough?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how it relates to biology or anthropology as much, but maybe something to do with, certainly physics. It's 100% physics. Yeah.
Sure.
But I'm not trying,
multidisciplinary stuff.
Yeah. That's why we have this regular meeting. For multidisciplinary collaborations. But yeah, I think that would be interesting. These were both wristwatches that were like old-timey, like, you know, minute hand,
wind them.
Like.
Well, no, you probably didn't have to wind them.
No. Somebody, I mean, they're, but like, presumably they're mechanical, they're not digital, is what I was trying to say.
Yes. Okay. Good to know. We'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. And then we see there is a guy who is alive-ish. He's alive. He's not in good shape. And it's the dude who kept talking to Max.
Ah.
Yeah. And so Scully meets with Sharon, and she brings all of Max's stuff, like his notes, his letters he wrote her, like lots of written material she brings to Scully. And Mulder goes to try to talk to the guy who sat by Max. And the main thing that we need to get out of that guy is that he was clearly exposed to high levels of radiation.
Ah, okay. And so he's very burnt looking.
Yes, he's very burnt looking. And Scully says that in these notes that she's examined, Max is making reference in, like, I don't know, I think his letters to Sharon, that, like, he's discovered something dangerous and he doesn't want to have it anymore. And so Scully's theory is that it's plutonium.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, I guess, but also you've seen these things before. You know, it's the normal thing. But yeah, initially the other issue is that his name wasn't even on the manifest. But then they discovered Max's wasn't. Yeah.
Okay.
So they couldn't find his body and they couldn't find his name. And Mulder thought he was probably under an alias and he was probably abducted off the plane. But then sure. Yeah. I mean, like within the concept of this, I thought absolutely. But then they find out his body was found, and also in his notes, they find that Paul Gidney was one of his aliases, was on the plane.
Oh,
Max's body has also very bad radiation burns.
Okay.
And then we see poor Sharon, Max's sister, in her hotel room, and it is all lit up and shaking.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Did we know she was another abductee?
No.
Okay.
And I don't know if she's been abducted before or if they were like, well, Max is dead, now we'll get his sister. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But they go to identify Max's body, Mulder and Scully do, and like they're in this like big giant warehouse basically with a lot of the bodies of the victims laid out in sleeping bags. And
in sleeping bags or body bags?
Body bags. Bags. I didn't just misspeak.
Like, that's weird.
I watched the episode thinking, yes, bright yellow sleeping bags. Like, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, probably body bags.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really think about body bags. I forgot they were a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But Mulder finds that Max had his business card on him, had Mulder's business card on him.
Oh, okay.
And then Mulder starts looking at other bodies in other body bags and notices that none of them are wearing watches. All their watches have been removed. in a cover-up sort of way.
It's a weird cover-up.
I mean, I guess
but
so
I
that you
thought that
can't see that the time was wrong.
I have so many questions. One is how, did they have, really obvious, tan lines? How did he know that they were watch-wearing people?
He didn't, but he noticed, I guess people wore watches more in the 90s, although people wear watches a lot now, too. What he's doing is he's looking quickly at a bunch of bodies, and it's like, none of them have watches. It's getting weird that none of them do. So in the next scene, Mulder and Scully are going to this Air Force base, and they meet with a man named Louis Frisch. And Louis says that the NTSB had already talked to him the day of the crash, and he's like, I don't know why you need to talk to me. Yep, I saw that Flight 549 on the radar. It crashed at 7:52 p.m. My coworker Armando Gonzalez also saw it. Don't know what to tell you. And they're like, okay. There was no radar confirmation initially, we thought. And he's like, oh, that must have just been misreported because they didn't know about it, the radar confirmation yet or something. And they leave. And then Armando comes out and is like, what did you tell them? And which I somehow had fallen for it. Oh. I was like, oh, I wonder why we're even having this scene. Okay, he doesn't know anything. Yeah, no, he goes, I told them what I was supposed to. Armando's like, well, if they come back, I'm going to tell them the truth. And Louis gets kind of mad at him, you're going to risk both our lives. So they're hiding something. Mulder and Scully get called to Sharon's hotel room because Scully had paid for it and it is destroyed. And I don't know, the hotel owner is like, okay, do you remember, this is what it reminds me of. Do you remember the movie The Parent Trap, the original, not the Lindsay Lohan, the Haley Mills?
Yeah. I wasn't a huge fan, so I've watched it once or twice. I know you used to watch it a lot, but I remember.
In the beginning, the twins are at camp, and they initially hate each other, and they are, having, rivalry between their two...
Yeah.
Whatever you call them.
Cabins. Bunks. Yeah,
bunks,
cabins.
Yes. And so one of the twins and her cabin sets up the other twins' cabin to be, this crazy mess with, buckets that are dumping on people, and it's outrageous, and and then those campers get in trouble. But I remember talking about this with Mom at some point, why would they possibly think people would do this to their own cabin?
Oh,
this isn't a natural mess that a person would make.
Oh,
it doesn't
right.
make sense in this context. It's clearly someone else did this to them.
Yeah.
And that is how I feel about how mad the owner of the hotel is that Sharon has wrecked her hotel and even ripped the door right off. And I just feel like, ma'am, this is not what humans do. Even rock stars, you can tell there's something amiss and a crime, and she's just like, well, I'm not going to pay for it,
Jeez.
Insurance probably won't cover it. Then, while they're there, the guy from the NTSB, who had originally kind of made fun of Mulder, is like, I think I found something. He comes and finds Mulder and Scully. He's like, I found something, but I don't want to tell people because they'll think I'm as crazy as you are. And he shows them that there are all these fatigue cracks. He takes them to look at these photos of the plane. And he's like, this was a new plane. The door never should have been able to be blown off like this. A door could not be pulled straight off a plane. Ah. Now, do you remember when that happened? In 2024?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, I was like, so I looked that up a little bit. It was an Alaska Airlines flight. And it was also a fairly new plane. And in that case, what happened was there were I guess certain, that particular shape of plane can have a variety of seat configurations. And if you get a lot of seats crammed in there, you need an extra exit door. Huh. And if you don't, then they just kind of plug that door and make it not a door. It's just a normal panel.
Oh, and so it's not as secure as the rest of the panels?
It's still it should be, but there was something weird about it. They examined it, but then they didn't put back all the bolts.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah.
Good God.
So there was uncontrolled decompression. No one was in seat 26A, which is the one that was right there, which I have to admit made me think, or was there someone and they were abducted by aliens?
Yeah.
But like a teenage boy had his shirt sucked off.
Oh my God.
And his mom had to like grab onto him.
Oh
Like,
my God.
yeah.
That is so scary.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It was
Wow.
like 6 minutes into the flight. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
So it can happen.
it can. Yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, that sounds surprisingly familiar. I swear that's happened before. Not supposed to, though.
No.
I mean,
No.
yeah.
Then we see that Armando Gonzalez, the guy who said he was going to tell the truth, is dead. Yeah, and there are men with guns streaming into that Air Force base, and they're being led by the man with the mustache. And they're looking for Lewis, the other guy, but he is hiding.
Okay.
He's like, I'm not going to let them catch me. Then Mulder says, Scully, I'm listening to this recording of the pilot again, and I think I recognize the voice of the air traffic controller. So that's weird. And Scully's like, look, we've been awake for 36 hours. But he's like, no, come over and listen to this. He calls him on a rotary phone, which it just blew my mind that those are still being used in the mid-90s. I don't know. I think
I remember
like 80s.
using one, though.
I guess.
We had one at our house when I was old enough to remember using the phone.
Okay, I guess I didn't realize that we still had one. I knew we had one at our house, but I think in my head it was just, in the early 80s or something, and I didn't think about...
No, it must have been early
obviously
90s.
That's not true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Scully goes over there, but she's intercepted by Louis Frisch, who's on the run and is wants to be protected. And so Louis goes with Mulder and Scully, and they talk, and they come up with this interpretation that I had to like rewind and watch multiple times, and I ended up drawing myself little diagrams to make sure I understood.
Oh, man.
Which is a level of things I've not done before for this show. So he says, yes, the crash is my fault. I was the air traffic controller. I know we said it was a civilian air traffic controller, but it was me, actually. And he was told by his bosses or whoever, starting around 7, update me on Flight 549's position every 15 seconds or something like that.
Whoa.
And so what he says, he saw a second aircraft start shadowing Flight 549, and then there was an explosion, and then 549 was off the radar, like it plummeted.
Okay.
Is what he says. And so he thinks that he basically helped the government shoot down this airliner.
Oh, okay.
But Mulder doesn't think that. And so I had to really think about this. I'll show you my diagrams.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, so this is what Louis Frisch thinks. He thinks there's Flight 549, and there's this other craft shadowing it to shoot it down.
Yep.
What Mulder thinks happened is, here's Flight 549. Here's this second government plane, like a, fighter jet coming to not shoot it down, but shoot down the UFO that is watching Flight 549, presumably to try to get Max Fennig.
Okay.
And he thinks then 549 crashed because of the interplay and the interaction between the UFO and the fighter jet. And so I don't totally know how he got there, except that he knows that Max was a multiple abductee.
Right.
So,
we don't really have any, besides the radiation burns, there's no other really sign of, and the watches being stopped, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, so something's weird with
Okay.
the watches. Yeah.
Right.
So Mulder's like, well, that would mean there must be a second crash site. And they're briefly in a scary chase where they're on a runway and a plane is coming down, and they zoom underneath it, and then the plane lands and stops their pursuers because they can't get around the plane in time.
Oh, whoa.
And it's just, I don't know, exciting chase, but it doesn't do much. We see then the NTSB guy, who had been kind of included in these conversations, is driving alone on the highway, and he sees flying saucer, without doubt, with the spotlight, like it's kind of looking for something, and he gets out, which is not what I would do.
Nope.
I would be like, I would be driving away so fast, and I would be calling someone. Ooh, but maybe that's not the right move. We've discussed this.
I would drive at a reasonable speed and pretend I did not see anything and call no one.
Yeah. Yeah. That seems reasonable.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then maybe tell someone in person
Yes.
when I was no longer driving.
Yeah. He goes and investigates, and all of a sudden, Sharon is there, and she's like, don't let them take me again, and she's crying.
Whoa.
Like, they basically just dropped off Sharon.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. And so Mulder is like looking at a map, and he thinks that there is a lake nearby. He knows there's a lake nearby. He thinks that might be where the crash is, the second crash, and that's why they couldn't find it. And Mulder decides, I'm going to go drive to that lake, and Scully's going to take Louis Frisch back to D.C.
Right. Okay. Something about you saying the lake. I'm like, oh, okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Does he stay there? He's not that stupid. No, maybe
Mulder?
I'm thinking of a different episode. Aren't there like people staying by a lake when there's in like a cabin? Maybe I'm thinking of a different episode.
He's more than staying there. He's inside the lake.
Oh.
And like, yeah. So Scully takes Louis Frisch back to her house. I'm going to tell you this. It doesn't pay off in this episode, but I have to imagine it will in the next one. Louis is at Scully's house, and he says, I'm just going to call my girlfriend and tell her I'm safe. I'm not going to tell her where I am. I'm just going to tell her I'm safe. We don't see that phone call. We have to imagine something bad happens there.
Yeah.
Mulder, we're kind of cutting back and forth. We see Mulder is talking to the guy who owns these campgrounds near this lake, and they're going out in a boat, and Mulder is in scuba gear, and the guy's like,
What?
you have a lot of experience with this? And Mulder says, I got a quarter off the bottom of the pool at the Y once. And like, I just feel like, I feel pretty confident that if you didn't know how to scuba dive and you just tried, you'd just die or drown or just float on the top. Like, it wouldn't work.
I can't possibly admit I mean, like, if someone handed me scuba gear, I'd be like, well, I've seen people put the mask over their face in movies. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I guess nowadays what I would do if I had to scuba dive for some reason,
Google it?
is I would Google it. Yeah. And I would be like watching videos on scuba diving on 1.2 speed or something to try to learn as fast as I could. But in this case, Mulder just goes for it and is fine. And so we're seeing him scuba around while Scully and Louis Frisch go out to get something to eat. And they go back to that same restaurant where it was her birthday. And Agent Pendrell is there. And he's drunk. And he's very, I mean, we know he has a crush on Scully. And he's like, it's your birthday. Can I buy you a drink? And she's like, well, I'm with him, and points to Louis Frisch. And you can see Pendrell look jealous. But then he goes, I'll buy him a drink too. And so Scully goes back to talk to Frisch, and Pendrell's buying 3 beers. And then as Pendrell's walking back, the mustache man comes in and shoots, presumably aiming for Louis Frisch, but he hits Pendrell.
I forgot about this. It's so sad.
Well, he's not dead at the end of this episode, and so I was like, maybe he doesn't die? Scully's like trying to save him, and I'm like, I feel pretty confident he dies at some point. But maybe it's not now. I don't know. But he wasn't dead at the end of the episode. I mean, that's basically the last scene with Scully, is her trying to save him. And then we see Mulder underwater finding the remains of a crash and a dead alien.
Oh.
And then there's a bright light.
Oh.
And then it's to be continued.
I'm guessing, my guess is the bright light's a helicopter.
It's in the water, though.
Oh, a bright light under the water? Oh, weird. Huh.
Yeah.
I do not remember him finding an alien.
Right? I didn't either.
No.
I feel like...
I mean, I do it other times.
Like,
but
right, yeah. I didn't remember an alien underwater like that.
Huh. Wow.
Yeah, it's wild how much I forgot about this.
Poor Agent Pendrell. He's so nice.
I just want the best for him.
I know. Aw. I want him to get away from them all. Go somewhere safe.
Yeah. And then the last thing I wanted to share about this is I was reading that the actor who plays Max played Max in the episode Fallen Angel in season 1, in which Mulder gets caught investigating a crash site. I believe it's in Wisconsin. I believe it's the one where we said that the alien behaves kind of like your dog, Leo, running amok and doing some crazy lightning powers to zap people. And that's when we find out he's a multiple abductee and he's a member of NICAP. And so apparently that actor then auditioned or wanted to audition for other roles on The X-Files, but they were like, you were too memorable as Max.
Oh.
But then he goes to the same gym as David Duchovny and would see and like saw him there multiple times, and so he came up with the idea. Like David Duchovny was like, we think we want to bring you back for another 2-parter to play Max again.
Can you imagine just going to the same gym as David Duchovny?
No,
I
cannot. I would lose my mind.
My friend Cynthia has lived in both New York City and LA for prolonged periods of time. And, like, she was a cocktail waitress when Jerry Seinfeld came in to a bar in New York once. And, like, she has, like, all these, like, running into celebrity stories that I just, like, I don't know. And if it were David Duchovny, I would just, well, the Super Bowl was last weekend. Did you see the halftime show?
Oh, I did. I loved it.
Oh, yeah. And I saw some meme this week that was like that, something about it being brave for that woman to get married when Bad Bunny is standing right there. Because what if there was still a chance or something? Like, David Duchovny was just in my regular life. I don't know how I would handle that.
I mean, I feel like, I would have no chill. I have no chill even seeing, like, people who are roller derby famous.
Yes.
Like, and that's not like regular person famous. That's like, if I was like, I saw Scald Eagle, like, what is the percentage of people who know what that means?
Yeah.
But there's like a picture of me ostensibly taking a selfie, but it really has her in the background. And I've got this like big stupid smile on my face. Like, look at Scald Eagle back there. So, yeah.
In like 2004-ish, me and my friend Amy went to, there was like a meet and greet at like a Kmart maybe in the Chicago suburbs to meet Jamie Soleil and David Peltier.
Yeah, when you got their signatures on your skate.
Yeah, and we, on our way there, were like talking like, what should we, we'll just have a minute, what do we ask? And we were just like, hi, and like nothing intelligent came out. We were just like, so starstruck.
When I got a chance to ask something to Margaret Cho when she came to NIU, I started crying just because I got overwhelmed or something. Yeah. So yeah, I don't imagine I'd just be like, yes, David Duchovny. Anyway, on with the workout. Right. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So next week is Max. Is that the name of the episode?
Max. Yep.
All right. Cool.
And
Can't wait.
We will also delve into our own very real life conspiracy based on this crazy email we've received.
I can't wait.
Yes.
Yeah. Very exciting. All right.
All right.
Until next time. Bye.
Bye. We Want to Believe is hosted by Helen Werner and Liz Holden. It's produced by Zach Werner. The We Want to Believe theme music was created and recorded by Zach Werner. Find us at wewanttoBelievePod.com, on Instagram at wewanttoBelievePod, or send us an email at wewanttoBelievePod@gmail.com.